Hey everybody, this is Robert from GHTR Nations Podcast Radio on the Talk of the Lake Shore. Uh, you know, there are some things I want to talk about, but I don't want to talk about it, but I want to kind of get it off my chest. First part of this. So the first part about it is what's going on in our government right now. No matter how you look at this, I cannot stand our government. They're doing nothing but ripping the American people up. That includes everybody. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're an immigrant coming over here, you're paying taxes, whatever, our tax money is going to pad their pockets. I do not no longer trust, I do not trust at all our voting system. I think it's a waste of time, but I will continue to vote. I will. It's part of being an American. I can vote and we'll see where it goes. But honest to God, there is just so much going on right now that I have not a clue what's going to happen from one day to the other. Everything's new. One side's bitching about the other side, and the other side's bitching about this side, and everybody's bitching about what other. You got racist, you got so much crap. I'm done with it. I'm just done. It's just a waste of time to even think about it. So I've been doing a couple TikToks lately, on to another one. And one of the things I've actually thought about quite a bit is our galaxy, what's going on in our universe. You know, I've watched a couple documentaries about, you know, what is out in the universe, how's the universe affecting us, what are we going to do, you know, can we get to other planets? And right now we can't do crap. I mean, really, to be honest, we're sending a spaceship just recently. The Orion went to the moon, which that's billions and billions of dollars to go to the moon. And for what? We've already been there. We said we've been there. And what gets me the most is a few things. Is we have sent some probes there. We have done a lot in that area. And we sent some probes to Mars. I mean, we've sent a lot of probes to Mars. We know what's there. We know everything about Mars. We're still looking for water. We're trying to find life. Where there's water, there's life. Okay. We cannot live on that planet. I don't care if we colonize it. We can't live on it. Even the ride over to Mars is going to destroy a person's body. And then when we get there, you think we're going to walk out of the spaceship and we're going to walk around on Mars and go, hey, here we are. No, it's not even anywhere near that. There's no planet that we can go to that safely, that we can breathe on, that we can live on, and everything else. So to me, I love science, but don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool that we have science and all this other stuff. But at the same token, here's my problem. Science, we already know what our capabilities here are on Earth. We know we're shielded, we're protected. Instead of spending billions of dollars on things we already know, places we've already been, just the moon, and I say we've been to Mars, we've been to the moon, let's go to other planets, figure out a way that we can go to other planets and learn about other planets that might be able to help us. Even if we send people to Mars and they get there, all it's going to be is science. There's nothing that's going to happen there. I don't believe there's nothing we can get from Mars that'll benefit us. Again, we can't live there. Even if they try to colonize it, how is it even going to, how's it going to work? I just don't get it. And again, it's about the science. You want to bring the science into it, bring the science into it. It's all good. Bring it into it. But we have probes that have gone there. We know what's there. We know what the soil's like. We know what's underneath the soil. We know that we drilled a couple rocks there. And but suddenly they want to send people there for bragging rights. That's it. And that costs billions of dollars. I know Elon Musk wants to go there, but he's a private person. He's spending his own money, and people are investing in his company to send people to Mars. But when it comes to the United States government, basically funding NASA, come on, what is it that we need to do there any more than we've already done? And that's just the way I feel. And then it's kind of, let's talk about Hubble for a second. Hubble was a big deal in our day. They had some problems in the beginning. They had to go back up and they had to fix it, which was pretty good, cool that they did that. And then we got some phenomenal shots from all over our galaxy and beyond our galaxy. And now we have James Webb Telescope that is bringing back tons of really cool images of galaxies that are just phenomenal. And it was like I was talking to a friend of mine. Actually, I was talking to Chris, and him and I were talking about, how vast our galaxy is. And what is it that is going to make it any different than we are now? We can't get to other galaxies. We know they're there. We can study them. We can send a couple probes out. They might not get there for a few hundred years, but at least we know, how to get something there. We don't know if it's gonna, whatever the case may be. All I know is that there are so many galaxies, so many planets, so many stars and everything. We have no idea what's out there. We're only seeing a fraction of, not even a fraction. Like they said, it was like a grain of sand. You hold it up at the length of your arm, and there's millions and millions and millions and millions of galaxies in just that grain of sand. And it just blew my mind. So what does it mean for us? Well, it means that I don't think we're alone. I think that there are people like us on other planets that are probably billions of years advanced than us, who are ahead of us. And I believe that there's galaxies for almost, it seems like for every person, there's one galaxy for every person on Earth, even the people who has passed away. Why do I think that? Jeez. Why do I think that? It's just because it's just too big. I'm not getting all biblical right now, but God said in the beginning He created the earth and the heavens. And when you look at the heavens, what does it really mean? I mean, what is it about heaven? The word heaven, what does it mean? What is it? Christians will tell you, oh, it's heaven. Well, okay. But He said in the Bible, the heavens, plural. So what does that really mean? Okay, so the guy that wrote the beginning of Genesis and everything else, he didn't mean it as plural, and plural might have not existed. It was maybe written into the Bible. Whatever the case may be, God created the heaven and the earth. Okay, the heavens and the earth. Was it heaven and earth, or was it heavens and earth? And even if it was just heaven, think about it. Just think about it real closely. If it was heaven, could it be possibly that it's all the other galaxies all over the universe. I mean, we have no idea how big space is. We can use theories, we can use all sorts of other stuff, but I honestly believe that um there is just so much out there that we don't even know about, that we cannot see. And I honestly believe that at some point, maybe, I don't know, other planets have the capability to fold space and time, be able to travel to different galaxies, explore different galaxies. But the question is I talked to a guy at work, really smart guy, stuff, and he's just incredibly smart. And he told me, he says, one question I have, and it's a real good question, is if there's people on, let's say, people like us on other planets, and they're billions and billions of years ahead of us, or, even a million years ahead of us, why would they want to come here and visit us? Why? I mean, what do we have to offer but history? I mean, that's it. Uh, and oh, well, no, they're going to come here. I've heard people say, well, the reason why they would come here is to help us, to help humanity, or they come here to attack us, to take our resources and stuff, which I don't think that's true. There's so many other planets out there that they can get stuff from. They're just not going to come to Earth to steal our resources or do anything of the sort. And you could write a million freaking conspiracies about this. I mean, over and over again. Do I believe that there's life on other planets? Well, I sure do now, even after the things that I've seen. It's just blows my mind. Everything just blows my mind of how big our universe is. And it's just like getting back to, NASA and Elon Musk. I just think that these people are spending the right money to try to think of ways of helping our planet. And I don't know what it is that we need to send people back to the moon. I think there's a little bit of controversy about that right now, and I've seen why are we going back now? Why haven't we gone back in recent years? Why is it so important that we go back now? Well, we were back in late 60s and early 70s. We went there. We have pictures that we've been there. We have like video that we've been there, but we hadn't been there since. And so a lot of people are saying, well, the reason why we haven't been there because we never did go there. We never figured out a way to get there, but everything was just, recorded and wasn't true. I'm pretty sure we've been there. The reason why I know that is because, okay, the reason why I think we've been there is because we have mirrors on there that we shoot lasers at quite a bit. But unfortunately, people say, well, they could have got that up there with a probe. They could have crashed that mirror into the moon, wherever it's at, and was able to, get it set up so they could flash lasers up there and back. Okay. It's a good theory, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. So the question is, again, we've been there. If we've been there, we know that there's nothing there for us. We can learn a whole lot about the moon, but I guess we could learn a lot more about Mars. But why don't we just send probes? We don't need to go there. I mean, let's spend the money on, robotic probes and stuff to go there to get the answers. Why are we going to send people and risk people's lives to go there to stand on a planet once again and to be able to do what we have to do? I just don't get it. So I guess my biggest thing right now is I'd like to think that we would spend the money on helping our planet. Um, One of the things that's actually going on right now is we're trying to figure out ways of conserving energy. Well, and I think the United States ought to be energy independent. I really do. I believe that we should take care of ourselves. I believe that we can learn a lot from other planets, but at the same token, they're saying, well, we don't know what's there. We could get fuels, we could get fossil fuels. Oh my God, how in the world we can't even get men there right now, people there. I had to say people because God knows who might be listening, but we have to get people there. And in order for that to happen, it's going to take hundreds of years to even get to the point where we can do that. One of the things I think is kind of an idea I've always had, and I never could figure out why. But instead of spending billions of dollars to go into these planets, why not figure out a way to build like a space station up in space, like not like the International Space Station. That no, I'm talking like something huge, like a Death Star kind of a deal. I mean, uh, take this same amount of time and build something big enough that you can put a lot of people up there, shield it from the radiation, the cosmic radiations, and let it, colonize something like that. Um, we brought bits and pieces of space station up in uh up in up to the International Space Station. And what I saw is that we're if we can do that, these bits and pieces, but someone brought up something kind of it's like building a rocket to take that much material up into space is going to cost a ton of money, more than a ton, billions, if not trillions of dollars of money. Well, we're surely not using the billions of dollars to send rockets to the moon, billions of dollars to go to Mars. All these things that we could be using to figure out a way to make something that is big enough that it can maybe travel through space and go to these, say goodbye to these group of people. Could be 100 people, it could be less, it could be 25 people, it could be 50 people, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take because it's going to take a whole lot longer to go to Mars and go there and make one trip and then spill and spend another billion or whatever, how much money it costs to go there. So that's yeah, kind of makes you think though, doesn't it? Yeah. It makes you think and it makes you go crazy. So it makes me go crazy because I'm just saying our government's wasting so much money on other countries when we can be using that money to sustain ourselves, to become independent of other countries, to become independent. And all these money, where is it coming from? I mean, all it is jumping from one country to the other, and they're printing money and all this other stuff. At some point, something has got to give. And I think we're wasting too much money at this time on space travel, going to Mars and sending more people to go to the moon. As long as it's not costing taxpayers money, I don't care what they do. So Elon Musk, go for it. And speaking of Elon, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. That's just another show. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for listening, and hope to hear back from you soon. I'm trying to get a show up with me and Chris. We're gonna do a video podcast, and we're gonna talk about a few things, what's been going on, and hopefully we'll get things rocking and rolling, and we'll get forward on this stuff. All right, you guys have a good rest of your week. Subscribe, like us, share with everybody, so we can keep moving forward. All right. Have a good day and goodbye.